Welcome, everyone, to the official debate section of the Charter Review.
Question: what kind of bear is best?
It's a ridiculous question.
False. Black bear.
Well, that's debatable.
Listen, you little wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
All right, everyone, welcome to the second episode of Not Exactly Experts, where we discuss current events that are making headlines and current events we think should be making headlines, as well as some other random short topics. So at the end, we'll send out a poll again to see what you guys think and discuss your opinions in our next episode. And to start in today, before we get going, we have a guest on the show. We've got Jarett joining us to bring in his point of view and insight for today's topics.
I got a lot of thoughts I want to get out, and I think this is a good avenue for me to do that.
Perfect. Awesome. Looking forward to it, Jarett. So real quick, let's just briefly touch on last week. We talked about Justin Bieber versus Tom Cruise, who wins in a fight. According to the polls, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why this was even a discussion. I mean, there should be no question whatsoever. It's hands down Tom Cruise.
So Jarett agrees. So does all of our listeners. I don't believe Justin Bieber got a single vote.
He did.
What?
He did. Yeah,
Ooh.
I checked it today, this afternoon. There was one person that voted.
There's one believer out there.
There's one believer. That's right.
All right. So moving into today, two topics we're all excited about. Number one, should sporting events end in a tie? And our second topic, Old Town Road. Is it a one-hit wonder? So Rambo, why don't you go ahead and kick things off for us for sporting events ending in a tie?
First topic, yeah. Thanks, Fox. First thing we want to talk about was, games ending in ties. And I think my co-hosts are probably going to agree with me on this. And I think most of America probably will too, is why in the heck would you ever want a game to end in a tie? I don't get it. I was looking at doing some research and finding some different topics online to see what other people thought. And the first thing that came up, I just started cracking up. I found a quote from an old Navy football coach. I'm going to butcher the name, Eddie Erdelatz. And he said, I quote, "It's like kissing your sister." And I couldn't agree anymore. It's terrible. I feel like it's a complete waste of time. Why did we even do it? We just wasted an hour, 2 or 3 hours, whatever it was. It's a complete waste of time.
I don't understand why certain sports can end in a tie. Obviously, the NBA, doesn't end in a tie. The NHL, there's ties. Major League Soccer, there's ties. Heck, even in the NFL, there's ties. But why is it those specific sports end in? College football doesn't end in ties. So why doesn't the NFL or Major League Baseball, they don't end in a tie. They have to go to extra innings until they find a winner. So what is the point of a tie? Are they worried that the game's going to go too long? Are they worried about injuries? I don't understand the mindset of a tie, and what does that settle?
A tie doesn't settle anything. No, I mean, you look at which surprises me too. I obviously soccer is not as popular yet in the United States as other countries, but if you look at NFL, right, easily one of the most popular sports in the U.S. Even still up to last year, there were two ties, right, in the season, the Steelers and the Browns and Minnesota and Green Bay. Why not come up with something, even if it's a time issue? Why not devise some sort of strategy to where you can quickly break a tie, like a little more than a coin toss, but maybe it's which kicker can run the fastest 40 or.
Well, I pose a question to you guys: should the NFL go to college rules? Should they just put the ball at the 20 and then just all right, go at it until we get a winner?
I think yes, but the NFL's, I don't know how every sport works, but the NFL's a different beast where everything is negotiated in that collective bargaining agreement that I think the players, I don't know, they'd have to probably pull a bunch of players, but I bet the majority of the players or whoever's representing the players is saying that they're okay with ties just because of injuries. when I'm thinking about the only reasons, like the arguments for a tie, why you'd want a tie, I mean, that's number one, right? Is because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the stats out there show you the longer that they're on the field and when exhaustion hits in, that's when players do, things that they wouldn't normally, which lead to tearing your ACL and
so put the
all that kind of stuff.
Put the two kickers out, and that first one to miss the field goal, it's done, right?
Well, that's pretty much what college is.
A lot of times football games come down to the kicker anyway. So why not get them out there, start them at the 40? If they both make the 40, kick a 45. If they both make the 45, kick a 50 until someone misses. I mean, something needs to be done. If we can settle a game of horse in the backyard without a tiebreaker, surely we could settle a football game or a soccer game.
It's disgusting to me. I hate it.
The thing, too, that really bothers me about the NFL in coming down into overtime, right? So you can have a tie, but coming down in overtime, if one team scores, right, in overtime, the other team doesn't even get a chance. Like, let's just talk about last season, Chiefs and Patriots, right?
I don't want to talk about it. It's
let's go into it.
No, let's bring it up. Let's go
perfect
into great detail about that game.
Perfect example, right? You've got two offensive powerhouses, and Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs lose the coin toss. Tom Brady gets the ball, obviously does what Tom Brady does. He drives down, they score a touchdown, as probably would have the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So give the other side an opportunity to at least match that or one-up it.
And I'm totally on board. But even after the Patriots scored, I felt robbed. I felt absolutely robbed that, okay, I want to see what the Chiefs are able to do. I want to see if Pat Mahomes in Arrowhead can lead a charge and go down and score against the Patriots. But we didn't get it. We didn't get it. And like I said, I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I felt absolutely like this. I don't think this is how it's supposed to end. This still feels not right that the Chiefs never had an opportunity.
Yeah. Speaking of robbed, Jarett, I was there. I spent money on 2 tickets, tailgated, got a little tipsy. My wife was absolutely gone. Like it was not good for her.
Tell us how robbed you felt.
Yeah.
It was so cold. Yeah, it was so cold. I was freezing. We were in the very top, and then D Ford ruined the whole thing for me. Because I don't know, you guys have probably been to games, but when you're at the game, especially a game like that where everybody's cheering after big things happen, you don't always hear what's going on. So like Tom Brady threw that interception, everybody in the stadium's cheering, I'm cheering, I'm like almost crying. I'm like, we're going to the Super Bowl. And then I look over and there's a flag. I'm like, oh my God.
America wants to see a winner, right? It's exciting.
Exactly.
It's exciting to have a finale, right? To a long drawn out game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ties are like participation trophies.
Yeah, that's not getting to that, but it's
Jarett likes his participation trophies.
That's the only trophies I have. That's the only thing I've ever gotten is participation trophies.
I know this for a fact. He's in my fantasy football league.
I mean, my bloodline has not produced a lot of great athletes, so that's the only thing I've ever had to rely on is participation trophies. And look, if someone agrees there needs to be a tie, I want to hear the argument. I'm up to it. I want to listen to it. Why should there be a tie? I'd like to listen to that.
I'd be open to hearing that too. I think maybe some of your true soccer fans would appreciate a tie, possibly.
Even like the World Cup has gotten to the point, I think like the first couple stages, there can be a tie. But beyond that, no. I mean, obviously there needs to be a winner.
If you're in the World Cup, there should not be any ties.
No.
Take me to a shootout every freaking time.
Yeah. There's no ties in the playoffs in the NFL. So why should there be ties in the World Cup on even a bigger stage?
Let's propose this question. Is there any sport where a tie is acceptable?
No.
Can't possibly think of one.
No.
Yeah. As a coach, what do you tell your team in the locker room after it's a tie?
I've fortunately never had to do that because, look, in my opinion, no athlete, no player goes into any sporting event planning on ending in a tie. No participant or no volunteer, no one who buys a ticket to go see the event goes to anything thinking, gosh, you know what? I sure hope this ends in a tie. It doesn't happen.
Everybody loses, right?
Everyone loses in a tie, and that's exactly right.
Yeah, it would be the speech would be the exact same thing if you had lost the game.
You would think, unless you're from like Switzerland, where they like never take a side.
just neutral.
They don't give a crap.
I can't do a Swiss accent, so I was going to try, but it started out as Borat. It's like, we did what we did. It was a great success. That's not Swiss. That's not even close to Swiss.
Oh, man.
Maybe
I like you.
I like you. Who's your boozer? We should tie the game. That's the closest Swiss I can do.
I love it.
I'm not following either one of those. So, all right. So we don't like ties.
No,
we don't think they should exist. We think all sports should find a way to remedy having a game ending in a tie, whatever it may be, right? Whether it's extra minutes, extra time, or a three-legged race with the two biggest fans in the crowd.
I can get behind that.
Just take the two super fans from each team, because obviously they're going to be there, and just have them race. And of course, they're going to be 13 beers in, so I would pay to see that.
Who doesn't?
See super fans, yeah.
Who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
All right, so everyone, tell us what you think. We'll get a poll out there. Get your votes in, and we'll see. We'd love to hear from all you guys.
Well, Fox, why don't you give us a little introduction on our second topic?
Second topic for today is everywhere. If you've seen upcoming movie trailers, you've heard it. If you've maybe been in a few elementary schools around the country, you've heard it. It was on Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Basically, unless you've been living under a cave, you have heard this song, Old Town Road by Lil Nas. Is it a one-hit wonder? How did it get so popular? Is it a country song? So many questions to be debated about this.
I want to go if it's a one-hit wonder, and it is. They're just thinking about it and just kind of going back in your guys' memory and everything. You always remember a song that exploded, that it was so big. You heard it everywhere, and you heard it all summer. Try to remember now then that artist who produced that song, if they made another hit that was as big. And 9 times out of 10, they do not do that.
Are you saying that basically there's essentially a tipping point? Once a song is so popular, it is too hard as that artist to repeat and have another hit?
Absolutely. And I firmly believe that. Every song that they put out as a single is going to be put up against that major hit.
Especially when their first hit is huge. Whereas this kid, first off, he's 19 years old.
Yeah.
Which is crazy young, I think, to be that popular. Fox, his name is actually Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. All right.
I did read the X stands for 10 years, which is what he thinks is how long it would take to hit legendary status.
So, I mean, who knows? This song may get him there. So we're talking about one-hit wonders. Let's just go through a few of them, right? Jarett, you mentioned, can you name the artist, right? So here's a few that I'm seeing. Mambo No. 5.
Lou Bega.
Yeah.
There you go. Tub Thumping.
Chumbawamba.
Spirit in the Sky.
Norman Greenbaum.
Come On Eileen.
Oh, that was a good. I don't know that one.
I don't think I do either.
That is a Dexy's Midnight Runners. My Sharona.
Oh gosh, oh my gosh, I know
that's
this one.
Something.
The not the Knack, the Clash.
Yes, the Knack. You're absolutely right, Jarett.
Okay.
But there's one more on this list here, the top 20 I'm seeing of one-hit wonders. You talk about having a big hit and maybe not being able to repeat it. Technically, this isn't his. He just joined in. Achy Breaky Heart.
Yeah.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right, and that's just another situation. That song, I mean, I remember how I was a kid when that song came out. You couldn't escape it. You could not escape that song, and he was never able to get to that point again until now. It's been 20 plus years, and until the remix came out. So does that really count?
And it's also, I mean, he joined on board, right? It wasn't really his original song. He heard it, loved it, and, joined with Lil Nas X to kind of make the remix. Yeah, so it started on TikTok and got real popular with the Yeehaw Challenge, where people were posting videos of them, jumping into basically some sort of redneck or country type of outfit.
Have you guys watched these?
They're good.
I've not seen a single one yet.
So they range from like really great to hilarious to what in the world is this person doing? And then I was watching like a compilation video of a bunch of them, and the last one on there is of a guy's cat.
Why is that the internet go-to?
And it was the best one. It was the best one.
So check it out if you haven't seen it.
You guys know how long this song has been number one on Billboard?
So I looked this up. We're at 10 weeks now that it's been number one. So it launched on YouTube. I know they made their video on May 17th. So we're coming up on a month. It's already got 140 million views. If I did the math correctly, that's 60 views every second since May 17th. But it broke Drake's record, I believe, for most streams in the U.S. in 1 week. It had 143 million streams.
Yeah. While we're talking about this with the Billboard Top 100, there was some controversy.
Yes.
And you kind of brought it up at the beginning, is this a country song? And Billboard says, They refuse to let it be on the country Top 100 list.
They have held strong. So they came out, it debuted, I guess, at number 19 on the country chart. And they indicated that the song, quote, does not embrace enough elements of today's country music to chart in its current version.
And I agree with it. I do agree that it is not a country song. I think it got more notoriety when Billboard came out and a lot of people came out and took it off the charts. Like, this is not country. And I think that perked a lot of people's interest to invest in it, look into it, listen to it. And then people, with the news and the buzz that it made, I think that's what grew its popularity. Now, back to the question, do I believe it's country? No.
Jarett, what does it take for you for the song to qualify as country?
Man, that is a good question. I think if he had implemented more instruments, probably, I don't know. I don't think I would say singing. It's more of the beat than anything, and how it's computer made and everything else like that. If it had actual instruments, and
besides the intro, like the intro's got that little bit of like a guitar lick.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sounds country, and then once the beat drops, I mean, it loses all of that country feel, and then you're like, oh, which I think is what makes it huge. Is like people like get into it thinking, oh, this is a nice country song, and then it just changes out of nowhere.
So my next question then is, if someone mainstream country today, like Keith Urban, Eric Church, Luke Bryan, if they come out with the exact same song, exact same beat, exact same instruments, is it considered country?
Yes.
So let's just say that Kenny Chesney remakes the song. Now, he doesn't use the same hip hop beat, but he uses instruments. Is it country? Am I understanding correctly?
So if that is the question, then yes, I agree, it is country. So actually, Keith Urban did his own make of the song, where he just solos it acoustically on his banjo. And it sounds very country, but it also sounds very similar. So my question is, if Keith Urban or Eric Church or Kenny Chesney released the same exact song, same beat, same instruments, they don't add the banjos, they don't add the guitar, whatever, the Billboard 100 says is the elements required, is it considered a country hit on the country's Billboard 100?
I think Billboard still says no. If it's still as Lil Nas is the artist featuring so-and-so, I bet Billboard still says nope.
I'm gonna, you know what? I think that if Keith, like you said, those artists, if they release the exact same song with the exact same musical background, nothing else, I bet it charts in country and they don't say anything about it.
I agree.
But if George Strait did that, they would be on top. They would be on top of that. Like,
If George
I don't
Strait
know.
came
Yeah,
out
yeah.
with that song, everyone's jaw would be dropping.
They would
Yeah.
lose their minds. They would literally lose their minds if George Strait releases that song with the exact same instrumental, opening, beginning, ending. It would be a massive hit for George Strait, and it would chart on country, and they would have no problem with it.
If George Strait
I
does
believe
that, if George Strait does that, I need a fresh pair of underwear. I just don't see that ever happening. And then I'd question everything, like my whole life. I just wouldn't. I don't know if I could go on if George Strait did that song.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go around the horn. Should it be considered country? Would it be as famous if Billy Ray Cyrus weren't on board? And is it a one-hit wonder?
As much as I and Fox, I know you just brought it up. As much as I probably don't like to say it, I still don't think it's country. I still don't think it qualifies as country. I still think it would be as big if Billy Cyrus was not on it. I think it just maybe got bigger when he did get on it. Is it a one-hit wonder? Yes. He is never going to make a song that's going to touch this song in his whole career. As much as he's going to try, he's going to be Lo Bega. He's going to be Chumbawamba. He is going to just have this one song for the rest of his life.
I am certainly going to cut up what you just said and send it directly to him.
Go ahead.
So he can listen to it every night when he goes to sleep, and he's going to think, I don't know who Jarett is, but I'm going to prove this guy wrong.
I'm going to prove that son of a bitch wrong. I mean, he's going to go ahead, chop it up, send it to him, but it's not going to happen. He's not going to touch how popular his song got. It's not going to happen.
Let's start with, is it a country song? No, it's not a country song, but I don't think a lot of country that's out there is. So I guess my answer is no, it's not. Do I have any problem with it being on Billboard 100 for country? Absolutely not. I don't care. Second question, is it a one-hit wonder? I think I do agree with my man Jarett. And then the third thing was, would it be as big without Billy Ray Cyrus? I think I agree with Jarett too. I think it probably would have been just because it's got a catchy beat. I think even without him, it probably would have been pretty popular. Maybe not as popular, but.
I'm going to go against both of you and say, I'm going to call this country. It has a country theme to it. So I'm going to call it country, and I'm going to say that because I agree with what you said, Rambo, where country is kind of getting very poppy. So why not get a little rappy, right? If we're going to allow pop in, allow rap in, right?
They've kind of already given him his own genre. I saw that when I was looking up the articles, is they're calling it like country trap.
And I wouldn't even call it even rappy. You can clearly understand, right, everything that's said. There's obviously no foul language in it. It's not what maybe typical mainstream rap would be like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are right, Rambo. It is kind of its own genre. So included in the country charts. Good luck to him. I agree, Jarett, that it's going to be difficult for him to have another hit. I think he has one more hit that breaks the top 100, but he will never repeat what he's doing now. I hope he enjoys the ride and the stardom and the fame, because this is going to be his biggest hit ever.
And then Rambo, back to you. So I know you're a musician, and I know you're in a band. You play an instrument, so you have grown up with music your whole life. So, I mean, just give me your thoughts, just musically, as a songwriter, musician, on this song that has become so popular now.
Yeah, so like when I think about country music, I love good harmonies. Country music is known for stories, and the stories are what like give you the feels, like give you the goosebumps, where you hear something that hits you and you're like, yeah, I can relate to that, or yeah, I've felt that same way. Whereas this isn't a song like that, right? Mm-mm. This is more of just a feel-good song. It's got a catchy beat, makes you want to dance to it, makes you want to get up and do the yeehaw challenge, right? So it's just different.
So obviously how big this song has gotten, people love it and people are addicted to it. Has there been a song in the last year, 5 years, 10 years for both of you guys that you've heard on the radio, and then it doesn't matter maybe how old it is, that it's just now you've just become addicted to it? It's just like, I just heard this song on the radio a week ago, and now I've listened to it like 30 times on my iTunes or something. So what song are you guys addicted to right now?
I've definitely listened to songs that I get addicted to right away. Despacito was one of them. Not our losing MMA in the ring fighter version, Justin Bieber, but the original Despacito. I got down on some Despacito for a while. In terms of a song I really like.
I think Jarett and I have both lost respect for you.
I like Despacito, and I'm not afraid to admit it. It's a good song.
Okay, just rough estimate. How many times have you heard Despacito from beginning to end? Just take a guess.
15.
Oh, okay, that's not as bad as I thought. That I was expecting, like, I have it on my phone and my iPod, and you can see how many times you played it. It's like, oh, I've listened to this song 150 times in a year. So no, 15. Okay.
15 to 25 since it's come out is going to be my estimate.
Okay. I guess Rambo probably doesn't have to be recently, but maybe just a song that you're addicted to.
Yeah, so like right now in the moment, I don't know if you guys have seen, I don't know who's putting it on, but there's a show now called Songland. You guys check this out yet?
I haven't.
No,
Fox, you would love this. So Will.i.am was picking one for the Black Eyed Peas, and that's the song that got me, was the song that he picked, and it's called Be Nice. So it reminds me kind of Old Town Road because it's got a catchy beat, and it just like, it makes you want to dance, and it's freaking cool. So I've been listening to it like crazy, and plus, it kind of connected with the show. So recently, I've probably listened to that song like 20 times, and it just came out like last week.
Okay.
If I had to pick like one song that I listened to over and over and over again, never get old, it's going to be Diamond Rio, Meet in the Middle.
And that's your country style that you love. That's the little older school, 80s, 90s.
Fox, your favorite song of all time?
Man, favorite song of all time is tough. I do have a favorite song when I'm working out. It's my last set, trying to pump out the last reps. I don't know what it is about this song, but within the last 2 years, my go-to jam is Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Can't Hold Us.
Every time I listen to that song now, I'm going to think about you lifting weights and just being a beast.
A big sweaty fox. That's what I'm going to think about every time I hear that song from now on.
What about you, Jarett?
Oh, man. Oh, so in the moment right now, it is Shine Down Monsters. And I just heard the song yesterday, and I have probably listened to that song maybe 20 times in a day. I don't know why. I love it. All-time favorite song, a song that I will never get tired of. I heard it on a highlight clip with ESPN when they used to do their highlight of the day. They had a song by
Achy Breaky Heart.
No, it was Despacito. And
come on, guys.
No, it was Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart. Yeah. And it was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't believe I've never heard this song before in my life. And that was that was 2006 when I heard that song. I have easily heard Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart 300 times. And it never gets old.
Obviously, we have a lot of topics on this one. Mm-hmm. We want to hear from all you guys. Tell us about Old Town Road. Is it a one-hit wonder? We'll put the poll out. You let us know. Send in your votes. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts. So definitely out there, check us out. Let's wrap up with a little lightning round again, this or that. Rambo, Jarett, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
I don't even like cat people. They're weird.
They're so independent though. You can leave for a week and leave your cat and you're fine. If you leave your dog for 4 hours, he pees in the house.
No, you got to train your dogs better.
Yep, dogs.
Beach or pool?
I'm a pool guy. I'm not big on getting sand all over me or in my swim trunks, and I know it's easy to get it out, but I don't like it. So I'd rather sit by the pool, especially if there's a bar, like a swim up bar in the pool. Like you never have to get out. Like it's perfect.
I gotta side with Rambo, I guess. A pool, because you can also have that swim up bar and everything, and the atmosphere and the music. Yeah, I'm gonna go pool.
Here's one thing we didn't bring up. I'm with you guys, by the way. Pool all the way.
Okay.
Beach, with this, not only the sand, but just the mere uncertainty of the ocean, not knowing what's in there, whether it's something more realistic like a jellyfish or something more Thank you. Something less realistic, like a 12-pound great, like
12
a
pound. I think I could take a 12-pound great white.
12-pound great catfish.
a seawater catfish, a 12-foot great white shark, right? So you don't have to worry about the 12-pound great whites in a pool.
Although I kind of have that, like, I always have since I was a kid because I watched Jaws. Like, even when I get in a pool and it's a deep end, I'm like looking under me, like, something down there.
I had that when I was younger too. I hated going to the college pool and the deep end. My dad had me so scared about sharks in the freaking pool.
How'd your dad get you scared of sharks in a pool?
It must have been a combination of obviously the movie Jaws and probably him joking around about it. Everything's so real when you're 8.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing? I think we just coined a new movie, like Snakes on a Plane. Sharks in a pool.
Sharks in a pool.
Sharks in a pool.
So I deserve money if they make that movie.
Get
Trademark.
Samuel Jackson on this. Sharks in a pool. Here we go. We have to do a shout out. We put out on Facebook, almost forgot, and he will never let us down. We put out on Facebook, first one to give us a review. We would give a shout out to Rambo. Official shout out is due.
Let me give this shout out to the one and only Jordan Sharp. He was the first one to give us a good review there on Facebook. He will be a guest at some point. So he says, great stuff. Can't wait to hear Rambo get fired up about who's a better show host, Carson Daly or Ryan Seacrest.
I don't know if that's a topic we're going to be able to do. First off, Rambo, I don't think you could handle it.
Yeah, my blood's boiling just literally saying his name. And again, the listeners don't know, but I have a hatred for Carson Daly that just can't be explained. I don't know if you guys are that way, but like literally, I hate the guy and I can't tell you why. I don't know what it's about him. I've always just kind of thought he was a little bit of a douche. Even when he was on, MTV Total Request Live, I was like, what did this guy do to ever deserve this? Like, he's got the coolest job ever. I think it was jealousy at first. And I was like, I just hate this guy. Like, just get off my TV. Let me listen to music. Shut up. Go home. I've always felt that way. And now he just he's like the freaking ant that you can't kill. He's been on his own freaking late night show. He's on The Voice. Like, I like music shows. Refuse to watch The Voice. Never going to watch it.
I feel there's another topic that we should maybe table for a next time. So
it's really hard for me to keep under control.
This might be more of an intervention. Yeah, this might be more of an intervention than a podcast, but we'll get to it.
And for this episode, Jarett's got a nice review and shout out for a local business in the Kansas City metro area.
Got to give a big shout out to La Carreta. Me and the wife, we go there all the time. Absolutely delicious food. La Carreta, Gardner, Kansas. When you're in town, give them a shout out. Give them a try. It's great.
And you're headed there right now, right after this.
I think so. I think we're going to try to catch them before they close. But yeah, La Carreta, Gardner, Kansas, absolutely amazing Mexican food.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jarett.
All right, thanks, guys. Let me know about the next time, all right?
All right, and that's a wrap for our second episode. So thank you all for tuning in and listening, and be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. We'll put up polls, and we'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Catch you next time. On behalf of Rambo, our guest Jarett, and myself, Fox, we'll see you later.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride.